Good morning, chemistry students. My name is Mr. Adam. This is chemistry. Today is the 6th of April. It is Monday and it is day 3. So, welcome to our second week of online learning. We're officially starting the school at home program today. But first of all, how was your weekend? I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you got to relax a little bit, get away from school, and unwind. I don't know if the things that you do over the weekend are similar to what you do during the week, but hopefully you got a chance to do something new, something different, maybe talk to some people, and relax a little bit. Get outside maybe and enjoy the sunshine. Whatever you did, I hope that your weekends are a little bit different from your weekdays, that you get to relax a little bit, kick back, and kind of unwind. So, as of today, we're officially starting what we call school at home, right? So like I said last week, it's not going to be too different from what we've been doing the last week in terms of content, but it's just a bit of a different schedule. So for school at home, just to note that your work that you do on a given day is now due at midnight of that given day. I will, again, post everything in the morning, make sure you have everything ready to go. But that work that you do, if you're filling out a Google form for that day for a Part 2 assignment, that will be due at midnight. So make sure to get that in by then so I can mark that complete and enter that into the gradebook for today. So thank you so much to everybody who made the class meetings last Friday. Those took place, like I said, from about 1:30 to 3:30. We had about 15 to 20 minutes to catch up with each class. So for some classes, we only got about 3 people, which was fine. We had a nice conversation with everybody there and got to catch up and see how everybody was doing. And for some classes, we had about half of our students actually present, which was really awesome. So thank you again so much to those of you who made it to those. We basically just got to chat and catch up and talk about what's been going on in our daily lives. How have things been going? I know in some periods we got to banter back and forth a little bit and make fun of each other, and it felt like the good old days. So that was kind of nice. So for those of you who didn't make it, again, it wasn't completely mandatory. They never will be, but it is a nice chance to just kind of catch up, ask questions. We didn't really cover too much chemistry, but we did kind of get to establish a sense of community again, which was kind of nice. We're going to try to do those at least once a week. Again, likely every Thursday, Friday, so we can get a chance to kind of wrap everything up in a nice little package for the end of the week, ask any questions that we need to ask. And we'll do that, like I said, once a week unless I get requests to do more. I think once a week is a good place to start because it takes some time for everybody to commit to coming to the same meeting at the same time. So we'll try to do those once a week. Okay, so that's it for announcements. Today's lesson, again, is 2.3 on bonding tendencies. You're doing the Part 2 assignment today, which is going to include the notes and then, of course, the assignment, the brief quiz today. Okay, so we're still working with HONC 1, 2, 3, 4, which again is saying that hydrogen is always going to form exactly one bond. Oxygen is going to form 2, and that can be 1 double bond or 2 single bonds. Nitrogen is going to form 3, and carbon is going to form 4. So, if you have a problem in the assignment today where you are checking to see if something follows HONC 1, 2, 3, 4, what you have to do is actually count each individual atom and make sure it follows that. So I wanted to do an example problem with you today to kind of talk about what HONC 1, 2, 3, 4 is all about. So here we have a proposed molecule. And here's the thing with molecules. They form very specific patterns and they only exist in certain ways following this HONC 1, 2, 3, 4 rule, right? So if they're not following this rule, then this molecule can't actually exist. So what we're going to do is look at each individual atom, each individual carbon, each individual hydrogen, each individual oxygen, and make sure it's forming the correct number of bonds. So let's look first at this carbon here, right? So if I look at this carbon, how many lines do I see all around it? See 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so carbon should form 4 bonds, so that's correct. So that's good. This carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines around it. That's 4 bonds, and again, that's saying carbon should form 4 bonds. It's good. Let's check the hydrogens. Hydrogens you'll usually see go on the outside of a molecule, and that's because they can only form 1 bond. So they're not bonding to anything else on the inside, but they're kind of just what you stick on the outside, right? They fill up a bond, and they stick on the outside to complete a molecule, right? So this hydrogen 1, 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 this hydrogen 1. So all my hydrogens form exactly 1 bond, so they're good. So we're good so far. Carbons and hydrogens are both good. But let's look at this oxygen. How many bonds is this oxygen forming? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. I remember something forming 4 bonds and being okay, but that's carbon. How many bonds can oxygen form? Just 2, right? So you couldn't actually see this molecule ever exist like this because oxygen can only form 2 bonds, not 4. So this would not be a valid molecule. If we wanted to make it a valid molecule, we'd have to erase some of the hydrogens connected to oxygen, right? We'd have to detach some of those bonds, and these hydrogens wouldn't actually be there. So now if we look at this molecule, oxygen only forms 2 bonds. It's good now, right? This is a valid molecule. This is a molecule that we actually call ethanol. It's a type of alcohol, and we'll actually talk more about what alcohols are and what ethanol is in a later lesson when we talk about these things called functional groups. Okay, so those are the kind of problems you're going to be doing today. Looking at molecules, seeing if they are valid, right? Seeing if they could actually form in real life. If you're building your own molecule, I want you to follow the steps just as Miss Marnick tells you, right? You start by making your carbon chains, right? So you start, Miss Marnick has a whiteboard on the wall, which makes it all easier. Start by making your carbon chain, right? You put a carbon with 4 bonds, connect carbons together, put 4 bonds on that, and then you're going to throw your oxygens on there and make sure that it has 2 bonds. From there, you're going to fill in your hydrogens. So anything that isn't connected together already, you're going to put hydrogen on it. And boom, you have a molecule, right? And this again follows HONC 1, 2, 3, 4 because we connected everything together, drew in the right number of bonds, and then put all the hydrogens together on the end. So you'll have to do a couple of those on a separate sheet of paper. I don't need that turned in or taken a picture of or emailed to me or anything. You just need to do that and then check your answers with the answer key today. Okay? So today can be a tricky lesson. So make sure to email me with any questions. If you want to send me a picture of what you've done, ask questions, and make sure you're okay, then you're welcome to do that today. All right. And finally, for the share of the day, I want to take a chance not to reflect on the time in quarantine, but rather the year that we've had so far. Because remember, before schools closed and we had to start staying at home, we actually had a full 6 to 7 months together in which we were all learning, growing, and getting better at different things. So I want you to reflect not on the past couple weeks, because those are important, but remember, we had a full year before this. I want you to reflect. What are you proud of for yourself, for accomplishing, learning, or improving at over the past 7 months of school? Take a second to actually think about yourself and what you've learned and how you've grown and what you are proud of doing. We're all brand new to high school this year, right? This is a brand new experience for all of us. We've all grown a lot and learned a lot, and we've learned how to navigate the building and get around and learned how to be high schoolers. So I want you to tell me what you are proud of, right? About yourself. It can be something that you've learned in class, something that you've written, or a project that you've done. It could be something you've done in your sports or your extracurriculars. Anything at all. It doesn't even have to be related to school. Just share with me one way in which you have grown or learned something new or improved something that you are already good at, right? So share with the class, share with me, or share with family that you're spending time with. I'm sure they would be glad to hear something that you are proud of with yourself, right? Just take a second to reflect, be proud, and really look at the progress that you've made as a person, okay? So that's all for now. Good luck today. Don't be afraid to send me emails or ask questions if any of this stuff is confusing or you need help with anything. It was great to see you all last week. I'm happy to be at another week of online school, so let's kick this off the right way. I will see you all tomorrow, and let's get a 1, 2, 3. Clap on me.